Man, it's all that we do. We tell each other stories about our past life. We look at each other in the eyes, and we do it all night. All night. We do it all night. All night, all night, all night. We do it all night. Yeah, we do it all night. We do it all night. We do it all. I probably didn't play it as precisely as him, but it went something like that. Yeah. Do, 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 do. How y'all doing? My name is KO, the artist KO, and I'm here to talk about me. So what are some of my best qualities? I'm loving. I'm very, I have a big heart, huge heart. I really care about people, very much so. But I have a very hard shell. A very hard shell. Yeah. Very hard shell, but very soft heart, right? And life did me, like, that's what life did to me. Cause everybody know, y'all know, like, life will tear you down, and it'll make you build a fence around yourself. And but as a Christian, cause I'm a Christian, we have to learn how to hurdle those things and still love people. And it's okay to love people and not let them get, cause that's the lesson you learn.
You guard your heart.
Yeah. So I guard my heart. Yeah, most definitely. But I love everybody. And I love every last one of y'all that watched my video, All Night by KO. And every last one of y'all that has not watched it, I need y'all to watch it.
Right. Yeah. So you said you started.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm hooking up.
Okay.
Action.
So you say you started off as gospel. What made you transition from gospel to now R&B? And will you still make gospel music?
I would always make gospel music, always. After I finish this R&B album, but because I'm a God child, like I was brought up in the church. My mother she's a missionary. My father, he sung in the gospel group, the Spiritual Harmonies, for years. He's actively doing that. COVID kind of got him not doing that. But what made me transition is I always had these songs. I always, while I was writing these gospel songs, I always heard these love songs. Because the songs I write, they don't talk about the chick and putting her down. And my upbringing taught me to be very respectful to women and even respect myself. And sometimes I didn't do that, but I'm human, right? What made me transition is I remember growing up in church, and I remember singing all these gospel songs, and I remember writing these R&B songs. And I started doing gospel music, and my gospel music kind of was crossover because I like the message, I like the God message, but I love the feeling of R&B, because I used to sneak out in the backyard and listen to R&B, even though Lorna told me not to do it. That was my mama. She told me not to do it. I was taught that if it wasn't gospel music, it was bad music. That's what I was taught. And I never agreed with that. So that was a point to where I was being asked by the people that I looked up to that told me I was going to hell for doing this kind of music. They asked me to do a love song in their children's wedding. And it was the same kind of music I wanted to do. And I didn't understand that. And I was like, it cannot be wrong for me to sing about love if sister so-and-so asked me to sing in her daughter's wedding, right? About love. So if I can sing it in the wedding, what's wrong with me singing it and writing it? Because God is love, and I'm connected to him. And I was so nervous. I was nervous for, as a matter of fact, when I was in my 20s, I wanted to kind of tell my people, like, I want to do something different. But I was really, really nervous because at 20 something, I thought about doing it, but my mother was a missionary. And my father was a gospel singer, and everybody looked at my family like, like they the church people, right? And we went to church all the time, but going to church don't make you perfect. I don't think you'll ever be perfect. I just posted the other day, it's not about, it's about progression, not perfection.
Right.
Right? And I was made to believe that I had to be perfect. And that's not true. Like, I'm 40 years old. I'm just playing. I'm 48. I'm proud of mine. To get back to the story, I wanted to do it when I was in my 20s, and I was just really afraid. And then when I decided to do it, I went to my mother and my father. I went to them first, and I was like, I want to do another kind of music. I want to do R&B. And I remember my mother looking at me, and because my daddy don't say a lot, but my mom was like, listen, if that's what your heart want to do, then do it. I trust you. And that did it for me. That was my transition. That was me saying, that was my mother kind of releasing me, like, she trusts what I'll put out in the world. That's how I took it. You know what I'm saying? So, because she know me. And my mom just kind of let me know, I'll raise you right. You're not going to be out here doing all that. Go do what you do. And that was my transition. That's what happened. I know that was long, but all of them might be long. Go ahead.
When did you fall in love with music?
Ooh. So we used to live way out. I'm from a very small town called Cortland, Alabama, right? Population 200. I'm exaggerating, but probably now. It's very, very small. But I love Cortland, right? I was born and raised there on what our family in the town of Cortland called the mountain. It was really a little bit of hill. I remember my family used to do 4th of July on the mountain, as they call it, and everybody came. But I was not allowed to go because my mom she's a missionary, so she didn't play that. Her kids, but daddy, because it was his people, right? It was my aunties and whatever. They partied, right? And by God, I wanted to party, right? My mama would let me party. But I was a little boy. I wasn't old enough to party. But I remember, like, the house, like, we lived, like, way out in the woods. Like, when I tell you, you have to turn off the back road to go to another back road and then turn on another back road and then go up the hill to get to our house. That's where we live. Well, the clubhouse, the Orr clubhouse, was up the hill from it, like probably 500 feet. It wasn't far. So we used to have a DJ. His name is Houston. What they did, because I was too young. His name was Houston Goins, and he partied. He did all of the DJ, all of the music every year, and it was. I remember him playing, and I was sitting in my window. This is a true story. I remember sitting in my window, listening to Houston Goins playing Roger and Zapp. And I never heard nothing like that, ever. Like, it was a vocoder sound. Everybody know that sound. But I never heard music. I heard gospel music, but I never heard that sound. And that was just sitting in that window night after night, hearing that music. I was like, I want to do this. Not necessarily what he was doing, but it made me feel a certain kind of way. It made me feel happy. It made me feel different from the gospel music I was listening to all the time. It made me feel like, Roger and Zapp, more bounce to the ounce, those kind of things. Computer love, computer love. Like, I used to love that junk, and I still do. And I went to 7 of his concerts, and when he passed, I was so sad. So sad.
What would you say is the best advice you've received in this industry? And what advice would you give to other upcoming artists?
The advice I would give to an upcoming artist,
Yes, sir.
Be very, very persistent. Very persistent. It's not going to go the way you expect. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. This is a true story. I just released a video a month ago, a song, All Night, by KO. And I'm about to release another song on Thanksgiving, House Party. Y'all look out for that. But I just released, and I've been promoting, right? And I'm always checking every day. I'm always checking what YouTube is saying. I'm always checking what TikTok is saying. I'm checking what people are saying about the music. About 90% of people on YouTube had really good reviews. They had the fire signs, and this is what you want to hear. But today I got a troll, because that's what I look at them as, that said, no. That's all they said on YouTube. Under my comments, today, I don't even know their name, but they better know your name. Anyway, because I'm not going to erase it, because I responded to them and said thanks. Because all press is good press. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody is not going to like what you do. Like, we all have different tastes. You like red, I like black. You like blue, I like, you know what I'm saying? So one of the best things for artists to know is know that you know that you know. When you put something out there, everybody will not like it, man. They will not like it, woman. They will not like it. Everybody won't. But what you're trying to do is find the people that love your music. And that's what I'm in search of. I've been doing this a long time, from gospel to R&B. So I'm just trying to find the people that love what God gave me to write. And if you don't like it, it's cool. Like, I ain't mad at you. A lot of people get upset with artists. With people when they hate on them. Man, hate is good. Sadly, fellow musicians and the people that's doing this, they don't really give advice. sadly. I'm open to give anybody advice. Young artists, do this or don't do this. As soon as you record a song, please do your paperwork and get your business together. Get it copywritten, get published, get all of that before you go to putting it on the internet, because the moment you put it on the internet, it's gone. It's anybody's property and you can't sue them. You can't do it. And if it's a hit, it's nothing you can do. Nothing. So don't be so happy. Be happier for yourself to do your business. Do your business first, right? That's what anybody with anything. Do your business first, because it's a cruel world. Don't put stuff on the internet. I don't care what platform it is. If it's on SoundCloud, if you want to be a serious artist, don't do that. Please don't do that. Copyright that thing. Do your paperwork, and if that thing sell, or if it's selling 1 million copies, it's your money, and can't nobody claim that. So all press is good press. Be persistent. Work very, very hard. And if you don't believe in yourself, start believing in yourself. I make music. I really make music for y'all, because I make music for my friends. I don't say fans. I say supporters sometimes, because people support you, but I really make music because I want to see you guys enjoying yourselves. It makes me happy. If God can give me a song that I can write and make everybody do this together in unison, if it brightens your day, it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
How would you say your dad played a part in your musical journey?
My dad played a major part in my musical journey, as well as he did in my life. You know, the same way I used to watch my dad be dedicated to his gospel group, I used to watch him be dedicated to his family and his wife and his children, right? Yeah.
So you sound like you learned hard work and dedication and persistence through your father.
I did. And so I used to admire him. He used to sound like Joe Lagun to me with the Mighty Clouds of Joy. And my daddy loves to sing. For those that know him, like, you give him a mic, he gone. Like, but I noticed, like, the last 10 years, I've been watching him, and every time he put his hands on the mic to sing, he got these tears coming down. And I started seeing myself in him. I'm like, and I know what that is, you know. I know that he's thankful for the journey he's been on, and he's still here. You know, my daddy has glaucoma. He was the hardest working man. I remember him getting up early in the morning with coveralls on and cranking this old car, and it was snow on the ground. And I remember this. I remember, like, watching him, like, I don't know why I was up so early, but I was up early. And I remember seeing him, and God did it. That's what it is, because he wanted me to see my daddy, and he was cranking the car, and it was so cold, and I couldn't believe. You know, as a child, you can't believe your daddy is out in the cold like that, you know? And he was shoveling snow off the windshield, going to work. And I remember saying, I'm going to be like him. He was a great example. Thank you, Daddy. He was a great example in life and in music. And listen, y'all ain't heard my daddy yet. My daddy will be on the next gospel album I make, as well as my mama and the rest of my family. Gospel according to KO. That's my next gospel album. All of my family have a track, but I just had to plug that because that's what I do. My daddy showed me the same thing I just told artists: be persistent, be dedicated, and keep pushing. Don't give up. Like my daddy have glaucoma right now. Can barely see, and he'll go and try to cut the grass today. That's my dad. Yeah, it's my dad.
Tell me what song you wrote at the weakest, roughest time that kept you from just saying forget it all. Like, what was the song that motivates you to keep singing? On the towel.
The Truth on Addendum album. My first R&B album was, and it really wasn't R&B, but I titled it R&B because that was me stepping out of gospel and kind of saying I'm gonna go R&B, but still trying to respect where I came from, and so I was kind of in the middle of the road. So it was called The Truth, Addendum. The song says,
"This is where I never wanted to be. I knew I would be inside of me deeply. It's a lonely place, lots of empty space, no papers to erase, sad looks on my face."
if you hadn't heard it, it's Addendum. KO Addendum. The name of the song is The Truth. That was really my turning point. The Truth, KO Addendum. I have several songs on the new album that just speaks about love, loving a woman, loving your man. Like, I was in church literally, and somebody said, All Night, that was a good song. And I told him, I was like, yeah, listen to that. It'll help your marriage. And I believe that. So listen to it all night. And because we all grown. If you listen to it, it help your marriage. Y'all might go all night. Anyway, what's the next question?
Who is Kate?
Or half the night. And even if, some folks ain't even going some of the night. So, because the goal here is that we go some of the night. I always wrote for the couples, I think. I think I always have written for couples because I always watched my mother and father. They still married. They 40-some years in the making, right? They 50 years, right? They 50 years. Somebody just told me that. But they 50 years because I never know. But they are 50 years. Listen, who don't want to be married 50 years? Right? Now, seriously. The world say, I don't need no man, I don't need no woman. But the truth of the matter is, in your heart, you want to be married to somebody. You want to be happy with somebody for 50 years and counting. My parents are married 50 years and counting. That's impressive to me. If they don't never do nothing else in their life, they impress me. Big time. And I know they impressed y'all. I know they did.
So I saw you posted the video of your mom and dad's reaction to your new single, All Night.
That was funny.
How did that make you feel?
So if you watch my mother's reaction, like she was like still like, I don't really know. And I didn't understand like why she was doing, because I'm like, you gave me the green light to do this thing. So all of a sudden, oh, you know, so like she was just, and then if you pay attention to it, the more it went, she was kind of feeling it. Now my daddy on the other hand, my daddy was like, I like this. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I got the spirit of my daddy. But my mother as well is, you know, my mama is hilarious too. Like, you know, my whole family is hilarious. Like, for real. I got some sisters they crazy, man.
Okay, so you talk about your family. You mentioned your cousin being on the house party track. I know you have a lot of family that's talented musically. So do you see working with more family members in the future?
Most definitely. I'm so with my family, I kind of gotta let them do them first, and let them kind of get into their thing, let them do their thing, and then when they get ready, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm always here, but I'm always pitching ideas. The Orr Sisters, we definitely gonna get back to their album, but before that, probably all of my nephews, nieces, mother, father, sisters will be on the Gospel According to KO my next album. After this album, which might be 2-3 years from now. I'm not gonna promise nothing, but I have, man, we have 8, 9 songs already. And they ready to be released, but it's not the right time.
So your new single All Night lyric video hit 10,000 views on YouTube. How that make you feel? What are your thoughts about that?
First of all, it was well put together. It was very professional. And it was done by my cousin, Douglas, or G2G. I need y'all to get at him. If you hadn't seen that, it's KO All Night lyric video. Go watch that. You need a lyric video. As a matter of fact, he's shooting this video right now. Right? For real. Listen, man, the joy of having family you can support. You know, people talk about this, but they rarely be about this. I'm gonna call my cousin. I know, and I'm gonna tell you something about him. I watched him grow from this all the way to this. And he's gonna eventually be all of this. Because he don't stop. My cousin, he's kidding to me. You know what I'm saying? What y'all expect? I need y'all to get at G2G for real though.
Who is KO, the artist? And what I mean by that is, when you were doing gospel, everybody knew you as Ken Orr and Orr Sisters.
All right.
Now you're going by KO Worldwide. So who is KO Worldwide?
KO Worldwide. So let me tell y'all where Worldwide came from. It came from years ago. I believe in my mind that the promises God gave me is for the world. My music, not for Cortland, where I'm from, not for North Alabama, not for just Alabama, even though I'm from Alabama and I love Alabama. It's for the whole wide world, not the United States. It's for the world. That's where Worldwide came from. KO is a music lover. I love music. I am the guy that loves music, that loves to write it, that loves to sing it. And he's Babraham.
And so where did Babraham come from? Like, what is...
So Babraham, so I met this wonderful young lady. She showed me a lot of things about myself. when I introduced myself to her and I told her all of these things, because I am an entrepreneur, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own a construction company. I own a barbershop. I'm a artist. I'm a sound engineer. I'm a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. She reminded me about Abraham and the things that God promised him. And for those that don't know the story about Abraham, basically he set Abraham in a place and said, look, as far as you can see, it's yours, right? And that, I believe that. Like, I really believe that in my heart. But when I expressed these things to her, she said, you know what? You my Abraham. And then she broke down Bay. She said, Bay is like, you're my everything. You are my prize. This is what she told me. You're my prize. That's what Bay means. And I was like, and you know, at first the name was catchy, and I was like, that's cool, because I understand Abraham and all of that, because I'm a church boy. So I'm like, but how can others relate to that? You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of Abrahams. It's a lot of guys out there that's somebody's bae, and they are Abraham too.
The promises of God through
the promises of God.
That of a godly man.
Right.
Is
it's a lot of, and if y'all want one of these shirts right here, y'all need to buy your bae. The ladies need to buy their Abraham one of these. It'll be on, as a matter of fact, currently it's on my website, koworldwide.com. You can order one of these. I think they $20, $25. They're not, but we can get any color you want. Abraham, buy it for your dude. As a matter of fact, dude, buy it for yourself. You're Abraham. You feel me? You somebody's bae. She call you bae all the time, right? Rock that. I got them for you. We selling them.
So basically, that represents the man of God that's also the worldwide entrepreneurial, serial, everything. That's kind of what Abraham was. Abraham was the promises of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through the lineages down for his children's children's children.
I guess you're right. She's so smart.
All right, so you have an upcoming album.
Yay!
You're releasing singles at a time. So how many songs will you say is going to be on your upcoming album?
Man, it's 10 songs, and I want to give it all at once. I really want to give like the whole album right now. But it's a singles market, you know what I'm saying? And I'm reintroducing myself to the world as KO. Because a lot of people know Ken or and all sisters. I'm trying to, and not saying that that's a bad thing that I'm trying to distance myself from. But it's a different thing, right? And because the Orr sisters, if you never heard of them, those are my sisters. They are the truth. Look them up. Orr, O-R-R, sisters. Those are my sisters, and they are the bomb. But that's a whole different thing from what they do. They do gospel. Ken Orr did gospel. Ken Orr is going to come back to that. But right now,
and we do it all night. We do it all night. All night, all night, all night, all night, all night. We do it all night. Yeah, we do it all night. We do it all night. All night. I wanna.
The lyrics that y'all about to hear, and they fun, they true, they authentic, they are all of that, man. And I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So my next single is
we don't do clubs, we do house parties. We don't invite not just anybody. And we call it Las Vegas. But we don't care about that famous. We gotta have that good music alcohol, we don't abuse it. Keep it modest, keep it sober. But we party till it's over. Yeah.
But we party till it's over. That's the hook. And it's crazy. And I got my cousin on there. Jeremy Young. Oh my God. Like, he's killing the track. He's a rapper. He's my cousin. He's from, and I'm just pleased to have my family on the track. For real. Like, and he's representing like he reminded me when I first heard the track and he sent it back to me, he reminded me of Jay-Z. And y'all will know what I'm talking about as soon as you hear it. You'll be like, oh, okay. But he's not Jay-Z. He's better than Jay-Z. That's my cousin. He killing the track. A house party. Look out for it. And it's releasing Thanksgiving Day. House party. Maybe the video and the song, I'm not sure, but yeah, we working at it.
Do people know that you have you actually been around the world to Africa and back? Like, tell us a little bit about that worldwide experience that you received from being somewhere completely different.
I've been privileged to go all the way to South Africa. I remember being over there in the middle of a concert. And I remember the things that was told to us in the United States. The images you would not believe is nothing like that. They made us look like we were such poor. Listen, I went over to Johannesburg, got off the plane, and it looked like Atlanta. I'm like, what? It's seriously, these people are doing well. So I did a concert practice one time. I was very privileged. I had a manager from Europe at the time. His name is Farai. I would tell y'all a story, but no, it's really funny too. But I was privileged to go over there, man. And I remember being in the middle of the concert, thinking, like, this is not the music, like, this is not the radio. This is real African music being sung by African people. And I remember just standing, because I was in the back. It was like 5,000 people there. I was in the back. It was before I performed. And I remember just thinking, thank you, God, just for, a lot of people can't say that they did that kind of thing. And I'm not bragging, because those things don't mean, they mean a lot to me, but when I do it, I just keep going. I don't really look backwards. So the only reason I'm even talking about it is somebody asked me about it. But that don't mean I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful. But it fuels me to keep going higher and higher. That's what it does. And that was probably over 10 years ago. Enjoy your celebration. That's the name of, I appreciate you guys for just letting me come over. And they loved the record. I did, what song?
Jesus You.
Jesus You. Yeah, I did Jesus You, and they loved it. Yeah, somebody said that's my jam now. But I did Jesus You, and I rehearsed with them one time before the show, and they killed it. And you can see that on as well on YouTube, Ken or Jesus You in Africa. Pretty bad. Pretty big.
How would you teach somebody to love themselves in spite of their surroundings so they can grow into the person they need to become for themselves?
Always listen to the voice inside of you. Always. I don't care what the outside voices say. And, some of us are going to be young. And I've always been the young guy that listened to the inner voice. If you feel it right here, do it. If you feel it right here, please do it. Do not stop. I don't care if you're doing this camera work. I don't care if you're doing... Artistry comes in so many different forms, right? Keep doing your thing. Keep doing it. Do not stop. Do not give up. Because, and I'm going to say this and I'm done. a lot of people measure success differently. I'm very successful if I never sold 1 million albums. If 5 people heard the music that I made, I'm successful. Because the journey was about me. It wasn't about y'all. It was about God giving me a song to write, and I wrote it, and I produced it, and I put it out, and now it's here for you to judge it or whatever. Do what was put on your heart and be all the way authentic with it.
So would you say that music for you is about a journey and not so much a genre?
Most definitely. That's why I do all genres. That's why I can do gospel. That's why I can do R&B. That's why I would love to do country. I would love to do all, because I listen to everything and I appreciate everything as well. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. I agree with that. That was a good point. Most definitely. I need everybody to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll be down either here or here or here or here. Y'all check that out. Subscribe, because I need to keep you guys informed. You know, when you subscribe, every time I post something, that'll keep you kind of up on top of it. And I don't have to bug you, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, you guys are my friends, for real. And I want to give you what's from my heart. Like, these songs are from my heart. And I feel like they're really good, even if some people don't. But I did say my friends.
We don't do clubs, we do house parties. We don't invite not just anybody. And we call it Las Vegas. But we don't care about that famous.